Hocus Pocus, a screenplay by Neil Cuthbert, based on a story by David Kirshner, and on a screenplay by Mick Garris, and a screenplay by James Douglas Cox. Fade in. Exterior Salem Village, establishing night. The camera looks down on the village, nestled in the valley below. Simple wood-framed houses, smoking chimneys, lighted windows. The night is chilly, thick, and spooky. The dogs of the village are heard barking and howling, upset by something they understand, even if we don't. Letters read, Salem, Massachusetts, 1692. Under a full moon, a spooky-looking high-eaved little house glowers down at the village from the top of a hill. The smoke rises up out of its chimney, twisting and turning in a very unnatural fashion. This is no ordinary smoke, and this is no ordinary house. The camera finds something moving through the bushes just below the house and follows the source of the motion. Suddenly, the shivering bushes part and two heads appear. They belong to a pair of local farm children, Thackeray and Elijah Binks. Thackeray, 13, is the older, and Elijah, his brother, is 10. Both wear homespun, simple clothing, and they peer into the house frightened.
They conjure! Look!
He points at the chimney smoke in which the shapes of little demons and beasts can be seen forming and unforming in the vapors. Elijah is really scared, and Thackeray starts crawling towards the house.
Thackeray!
But he follows him, and the camera follows the two children as they crawl through the bramble-filled yards toward the lighted windows of the spooky-looking house. They reach the window and they peer in. From their point of view, the main room of the house is lit only by a fire in the broad hearth and by candles placed in a circle around the room. The cauldron boils on the fire as the three Sanderson sisters, Winifred, Mary, and Sarah, stand around it. Very old, dressed in the heavy black woolen clothing of the era, they look exactly what they are, witches. Winifred is the eldest and by far the most powerful. Once beautiful, her beauty has been corrupted by evil. Her fingers have grown talons and her teeth have sharpened. But she's still vain and she hates children for their youth and prettiness. Winifred has a nasty temper. When she gets really angry, her hair stands on end, and she possesses an ability to discharge jolts of electrical energy. Winifred has great skill with potions and spells. She's a very dangerous witch. Mary, the middle sister, is obese and gluttonous. Obsessed with food, she possesses the outward manner of a sweet, sugar-kindly aunt. Mary loves children. She loves them because she loves to eat them. Mary's sense of smell is incredibly keen, and she can follow the scent of a child like a bloodhound. Sarah, the youngest, is the idiot sister. She's also beautiful and sexy, and she likes to torture things, small animals, children, bugs, you name it. Any suggestions of cruelty to someone else sends her into a fit of idiotic, cackling laughter, while any fear for herself sends her into a fit of terrified screaming. She's a bit of a mess. The children watch as Winifred reads from the recipe in her ancient spell book.
Oil of boil and a dead man's soul.
Drops one in, and suddenly Sarah's nose catches a whiff of something, and she sniffs.
Smell children.
Back to scene. Thackeray and Elijah duck for cover as Sarah, Winifred, and Mary step up to the window and gaze out. The angle from the outside, Thackeray and Elijah are hiding right below them, motionless, as Sarah sniffs and Winifred's evil eyes scan the darkness for their favorite prey, children. Suddenly, a ghostly white form can be seen approaching through the darkness.
Sisters, our guest is here.
The witches share an evil laugh of pleasure and move back into the room, and the kids are terrified as the white form approaches and becomes identifiable as a little girl dressed in a long white shirt.
Their sister, Emily.
The little girl's eyes are closed. She's walking in her sleep.
Emily! Emily!
But she walks right past them and into the house.
She is bewitched.
Run to town! Fetch the elders!
But
Go, Elijah! Run like the wind!
Elijah crawls away, and then he gets to his feet and sprints off down the hill towards the village. Back in the house a moment later, Emily sits on a stool next to the bubbling cauldron, and Winifred continues reading from her spell book.
Finally, when 'tis is nearly done, add a bit of thy own tongue.
And she bites her own tongue and spits it into the cauldron. As it bubbles up, changing to a dark, sickly purple color and giving off a menacing curl of vapor.
'Tis ready for tasting.
Ooh! Mary is about to take a taste, but Winifred gives her a painful backhand, knocking her away from it. She dips her spoon into the potion and then holds the steaming spoon out to Emily.
One drop of this. And mine.
The witches cackle. The entranced little girl opens her mouth wide as Winifred leans in with a spoon, but suddenly the door of the house flies open and Thackeray races in.
Boy.
Thackeray flings a stool at Winifred and she jumps clear, flicking the contents of the spoon on Mary, with whom it sizzles. Thackeray grabs a long iron pot hook off the wall. He swings it at the witches, who recoil from him. Winifred snatches up her spellbook and holds it protectively.
Get him, you fools!
Get him, you fool!
Mary shoves Sarah at Thackeray, and Thackeray gives her a good bop on the head. As Winifred, getting furious, starts gathering power for a major electrical discharge, Thackeray hooks the edge of the cauldron with a pot hook and dumps it over. The bubbling goo spills all over the dirt floor. On Winifred, as she shrieks in rage at the sight of her ruined potion. Her hair is now standing out straight in the air. Thackeray bolts for the door, but Winifred nails him with a massive jolt of electricity, and he goes down. From Thackeray's point of view from the floor, a moment later, he comes to, and he sees the witches' 3 ugly faces staring down at him. Thackeray tries to struggle, but they've tied him up.
See how bravely he struggles.
What shall we do with him, sister?
Roasted with potatoes.
Put hornets in his ears! Oh, no. He's such a brave little boy. His punishments must be more inventive. Let's find something in my book. The book.
Sarah and Mary cackle with glee as Winifred lovingly opens and peruses her spellbook.
Let me see. Warts, itching, death.
Crib death!
I have it. His punishment will not be to die, but to live forever.
As what, Winnie?
As what? As what?
Winifred reads from the book.
The bones and then the back. Trim him of his baby fat. Give him fur as black, and pointy claws with which
Winifred hisses at him. Thackeray drops to the floor, and the witches poke cruelly at him with their broomsticks, and the door flies open and torchlight fills the house. Exterior, Salem Village at night. The witches are set to be hanged over the pyre. Emily and Elijah stand with their father.
Confess your crimes. Where be the boy? Thackeray Binks.
We are innocent.
victims we are. Let this madness stop. No last meal.
Silence, hag! The boy!
Mortal, ignorant fools! Hang us, burn us, what ye will, but our spirits abide here in this hill. That one hallowed eve when the moon is round, a virgin will summon us from the ground.
The townspeople toss torches to the pyre. Flames leap at the ever-laughing witches.
We will be back. You have not seen the last of us, Salem Village. Mind ye children well, mind ye children.
The camera pans up to and holds on the full moon as the witches shriek with laughter. But their shrieking is suddenly cut short as we hear the plank tumble to the ground. Dissolves to another angle. Nearby, something small and sad watches from the bushes. Watery marble eyes blink slowly, and when they open, they're looking up at the internal of a high school classroom, daytime. Among the students in the classroom are Allison Williamson, 15, prettiest girl in town, and Ben and Alan, 14, town's geeky outcast.
Could anyone explain for us the cultural significance of Halloween and our own local history? How that might perhaps share some common ground?
A tarantula secretly crawls among the feet of the students. It crawls towards Allison's feet. Ben knows about it, so Alan diverts the class.
Yes, Mr. Shotsnick?
Thank you. Halloween, or more properly All Hallows Eve, in medieval times was a holy evening. It took place on October 31st, the eve of All Saints' Day, when the souls of the dead rose and walked the earth again. Which is exactly what Salem's own diabolical ancestors vowed to do on this very night. The Sanderson sisters, before being banged by a town full of most righteous, and if you ask me, most improperly dumped on witch hunters, swore they'd come back to avenge themselves on Salem's children. That would be us. There are those to this day, Mr. Corwin, and myself included, who believe that every Halloween night a black cat still guards the old Sanderson house, warning off any who might bring the witches back from the grave.
The tarantula's on Allison's foot. She flips it away. It lands on its back, its legs wiggling, exposing its electronic innards. The bell rings. The class exit. Allison glares at Ben. He shrugs and points to Max. She looks at him. He smiled, gratefully, but shaking her head, she leaves. Max is crestfallen. Exterior high school, locker road, day. Ben and Alan's lockers are altars to superstitious protectives. Max collects his stuff from his locker nearby. He can't stop looking at Allison down the hall. Ben consults his locker Rolodex.
Williamson Allison, 15. Birth date June 20, 1976. Freshman. A student. Took over finest babe throne from Christy Clippinger upon arrival. Family assets exceed 7 digits. Lives 397 Chestnut Street. Social calendar full to the 12th of never.
Put her from ye mind, lad. She's way out of your league.
Yeah, now that you guys maybe look like such an idiot.
You should thank us for breaking the ice for you.
With an RC tarantula, now she thinks I'm a geek.
No, now she thinks you're a clever geek. Big difference.
Hey, don't do me any more favors, okay? I can break my own ice.
Max starts after Allison, turns back and heads out of school past Ben and Alan.
Good call, Max. It's Friday the 13th, Halloween, and a full moon all at once. Unluckiest day of the current millennium.
Prediction?
Predict on.
Our young apprentice shall crash and burn.
Agreement. The night grows near. We must prepare.
Prepare on!
They finger garlic butter on their faces as war paint, and they head off, parting, gagging students in the hallway like corpses. Internal, Salem Mall, Bank of Salem, ATM, daytime. Max rides up on his mountain bike to get money out of the Versateller. Turns to leave. Duh! Allison is there. He just stares and stares at her.
Are you done?
What? Oh, sorry, no, I wasn't staring.
No, that's not what I meant. But since you mentioned it, ever since you started at Cromwell High, you've been staring at me. Is there something wrong with you?
What? Oh, no. I mean, no. I guess I can't help myself.
Oh, you're just immature. I should have guessed with the spider in social studies.
I didn't do that. Ben Corwin did. He was trying to break the ice for me.
Break what ice?
Yes, with you.
For what?
Well, I don't know.
Then why'd you have them do it?
Why didn't they? Did it on their own.
What's your name?
Max.
Well, Max, you should tell them to stop doing things for you. They're making you look like a jerk. Bye.
Exterior, Salem Street. Max rides out of the mall under an anvil of teenage angst, looking back at Allison, getting into her mom's car. Wham! He runs into Jay and Ernie, 17, town jerks, an Axl Rose apostle and a white rap fanatic on their motocross bikes. Their bags of Halloween prank supplies scatter.
Oh man, Jay, Ernie, man, I'm sorry.
Ernie yanks Max off his bike, sticks his head in Max's face. The word ICE is shaved into his short hair.
That me?
Ernie man, what's your name?
Anybody gonna do
Can't you read? My name is Ice, cold-hearted like a cube. Get it, huh? Ice! Get it?
Yeah, I get it. I'm sorry.
Not yet, you ain't. But Sean, don't move, new boy. Come on, pick it up for the whole town. The whole town knows who did all that stuff tonight. Tomorrow, after all, it's done.
Oh, too many words, Ice. What?
Pick up the stuff.
Oh, no.
Brain dead.
Jay hurries and Ernie grabs Max.
You're dead, Max E. Head. Whoa, cool grass trainers. Let me check them out.
What, my shoes?
No, your jock strap. Yeah, your shoes. Gimme. I want to see if they fit me.
Max is about to protest, and Ernie unpockets a knife. Max loses the shoes, and Ernie tries them on. Too small. He slices the heels out.
Perfect. Here, trade, man. Don't say I never gave you nothing.
Ernie stuffs his crusty tinnies in Max's arms.
If you tell anyone you saw us shopping.
Yeah. No, I got it.
Ernie and Jay take off for the top of the mountain. Exterior, mountain bike park, outside town, day. A ski resort that's a mountain bike park in the off-season. Mike rides by an old cemetery and up to the ticket booth with purpose. He takes the ski lift. Exterior mountaintop, Suicide Gorge, day. Max suits up, helmets, gloves, pads, rides to the edge of the expert run, vertical death trap. Rocks, moguls, Max breathes deep, cinches down his toe straps, death grip on the bars, and is just about to pedal over the edge when, he chokes. Frustrated, he backs away from the edge just as Ernie and Jay fly by him, jetting down the run. Their bikes are agile horses. Max rides off at once, scared and disappointed. Exterior mountain bike park day. Mike rides down the bunny slope and out of the park.
Maybe next time.
It's always the next time.
Exterior, Max's house during the day. Max rides up his walkway. Interior, Max's house, kitchen.
Hey, champ.
Hi, sweet potato pie.
Mom, Dad,
How was school?
bad grades, cutting class, no friends. Basically, it sucked.
Hey, language.
Max, what happened to your shoes?
Max looks down at Ernie's stinky sneakers.
That new industrial fungus thing. You guys going trick-or-treating?
There's a Salem Professionals Halloween dance at the town hall. We'll be out late. So look after your sister, Max, okay?
What if I've got a date? I mean, I don't, but if I did...
Then we'd cross that bridge if we came to it. She's your responsibility for tonight, Max. Understand?
Yeah, I think it stinks, but I understand.
We've all got our crosses to bear, Max. You should be thankful you have a little sister to share the best things in life with. You'd feel pretty bad if you didn't.
She's 7 years old, Mom. I'm in high school.
Which makes you the mature one.
Max grabs a Coke from the fridge and heads upstairs. Exterior of Max's bedroom. The woodshop project Skull and Bones reads, Max only. The interior of Max's basement room. Max rifles through the CDs. Oh no, Neil Diamond. Oh yes, Solitary Man. As the lyrics lilt through his private teenage cave, Bud Light Babe Pacers and etc. Max goes eye to adversarially eye with a poster of his big time hero.
solitary man. That's what I am, a solitary man.
Oh man, that's me. That is me. That's so true, Neil.
Max opens a copy of The Crucible, Cromwell High's paper, a picture of Allison leading cheers.
What do I do, Neil? I mean, do I just walk up and say, hi, I'm totally in love with you. Be my girlfriend? Cool. I'll write her a song. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm totally in love with you. Man, Neil, just,
Don't be
I
so
don't know.
direct.
Forget it. She thinks I'm a geek anyway, but I mean, look.
Max shows the picture of Allison to the
See?
picture of Neil.
Am I lying? Is she... What's going on? Is she beautiful or what?
Max is suddenly entranced by the picture. He brings it up to his face. He's gonna kiss it. And suddenly his little sister Danny appears behind him from the closet.
Ah, duh.
I scared you.
I'm gonna kill you.
Max leaps for her, but Danny jumps on the bed, face to face with Max. He reaches for her and she puts her hands up in Power Witch manner.
Halt! If you touch me, I'll tell everyone what you were doing.
You better not say nothing, Danny.
What'll you give me?
A fat lip if you don't shut up. Mom and Dad told you to stay out.
Only till you adjusted to your new environment. Because moving in high school is traumatic on a teenage boy. That's what Mom said. So, let's go.
Traumatic. And I'm not going anywhere.
You're taking me trick-or-treating.
Guess again.
You are.
I ain't.
Uh-huh.
Mom and Dad said you have to.
Well, guess they don't know everything.
You're taking me, Max.
Want to bet?
Danny runs in a spontaneous lather up the basement stairs, screaming at the top of her lungs.
Mom!
Interior Max's house, Dave's workshop.
You haven't done anything except hang around the house every weekend. We've been here so far. Max, listen, you know, we moved here for your and Danny's benefits.
Thanks, but that doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, I guess not. But life wouldn't be so miserable if you tried to.
Who said I was miserable?
Dave just looks at him.
Dad, I didn't want to move here. All that stuff you said about a safe rural atmosphere, well, guess what? I got my cross trainers ripped off on the way home from school, which I hate. I don't have any friends. They bumped me ahead because they said I was smart, but now everybody I'm supposed to be equals with drives a car and I ride a bike. I had to get a $5 haircut that sucks because nobody knows how to cut hair right here.
You, my man, have got a serious case of the screaming knee bucklers for some lucky girl, don't you?
Oh, man. She told you? I can't believe it. She blabs her fat mouth off about all my personal stuff. Then I'm supposed to take her trick-or-treating. Well, forget it, Dad.
Well, you better suit up. It's about time.
What?
It's Halloween. Get into it.
You're kidding, right?
Serious as a tax audit, Max, because if you don't, or if you foul up in any way, you can forget about getting your driver's permit this year. Listen, Max, it's her big night, and you're going to make sure, as her big brother, that she has a great time. Understand?
Yeah, I understand. I think it sucks, but I understand it.
Life ain't fair, Max. But it's always the guy who goes above and beyond the call of duty that makes all the difference. Dismissed! Oh, don't scare Danny too bad. She'll have nightmares.
My life's a nightmare.
Exterior of Max's house at dusk. Costume kids roam the streets. Dave, laden with a still camera and video 8, and Jenny look proudly at their kids.
Honey, Fix your nose, it's falling off. Have a good time. Don't stay out too late.
Danny waves gleefully. Max's costume, a baseball cap and Wayfarer 2s.
Got our route all planned. We're going to clean up. Where is your costume?
Max puts on his sunglasses.
I'm a dope dealer.
Unacceptable.
I'm Christian Slater.
Ginny and Dave walk over to the kids.
What are you supposed to be anyway?
I'm a baseball player. Let's go.
Take your mitt.
Don't push me, Danny.
Danny looks hurt. Max and Danny walk away.
Kids, wait up!
He's got the cameras.
Crap, pump it.
Max and Danny bolt away under a full moon. Below it, on a nearby hill, the Sanderson house. Exterior, neighborhoods, various shots in the evening. A skeleton sits up and waves. Killer front yard diorama, and Halloween's big in Salem. Max and Danny come down the street. Max is praying he won't be noticed.
If you'd worn a real costume, nobody'd know who you are.
Just hurry up.
Exterior house, evening. Danny rings the doorbell. The devil answers. Red light and goofy smoke issues out. Max yawns. Danny freaks and ducks behind him.
Save yourselves! Abandon all hope, ye who ring my bell! Boy! Tremendous reaction!
Trick or treat.
Well, what have we here? A little witch and a kid wearing sunglasses?
I'm a rap star.
Exterior, neighborhood, various houses at night. Max drags along as Danny runs from house to house. At various stores, Max explains.
I'm a blind center fielder. I am a dysfunctional teenage zombie. I'm an illegal alien from Lapland. I'm an illegal alien. I'm an alien. I'm Jack Nicholson's son. I'm the ghost of James Dean. I'm a Ray-Ban factory test pilot. Hey, I'm a Ray Charles backup singer. I'm her brother.
Exterior, neighborhood, street, night. Danny struggles under the weight of her haul. Max is bored.
Mine's too heavy. Carry it for me, Max.
Your night, your candy, you carry it.
Fine, I will. I liked you better when you were a kid.
I liked me better when I didn't live here. Ah, shit. Come on, we're done.
There's more houses.
But Danny ignores him and keeps right on walking towards Jay and Ernie, who ride their BMX bikes up, blocking her way.
Ding, 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 ding.
Stop and pay the toll, kid.
10 chocolate bars, no licorice.
Dump them out of your sack and we'll pick them.
Drop dead, moron.
Yo, twerp! How'd you like to be hung off that telephone pole?
I'd like to see you try it, jerk. Because my big brother's with me, and if you don't give me back my candy, I'm going to tell him to beat you up. Max!
Max comes forward and Jay and Ernie bust up.
What are you supposed to be anyway? New kid on the block?
They crack
He's
up.
a little leaguer.
Jay and Ernie and the other boys howl with laughter. Max is mortified.
Later.
Wait a moment. Everybody pays toll. Let me check out your swatch.
Max hands his watch to Ernie.
What are you doing? Max, aren't those your cross trainers?
Shut up, Danny.
You can give him your stuff, but he ain't taking mine.
Danny snatches her candy sack away from Ernie, ducks behind Max. Ernie chases her into Max's face.
Oh.
You got a death wish or what, Maxi Pad?
Max hands Ernie his own sack.
Here, Ernie, help yourself.
My name is Ice, cold like a cube.
Dumb, like a brick.
Max slaps a hand across her mouth.
I'll just keep the bag. Ow.
Sure, go ahead. I gotta get her home now, bedtime.
Max leads Danny away. Halfway down the block, she bites his hand.
Social misfits, degenerates, thieves.
Danny struggles with her half-ton of candy, and at a cross street, Max turns back.
What did you want me to do? There were 2 of them.
You didn't have to roll over completely.
Oh, I didn't want to take you trick-or-treating, but I did. And if I didn't give him my swatch, he would have beat the crap out of both of us. I saved your butt. So just collect your candy and shut the hell up, Danny.
Telling Mom and Dad that you ruined my Halloween.
Oh, go ahead. See if I care.
You don't care about anything anymore.
I got nothing to care about.
Danny sits on the curb, bawling, and Max sits with her.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
You're just scared Dad won't sign your driver's permit, hermit.
Permit. It didn't matter anyway. I'm not going anywhere.
How come you don't have any friends yet, Max? I got lots so far.
You're a kid. It's easy for kids.
Oh yeah, and you're such a big man. You don't even shave yet. Sorry. Have some candy?
Max splits a chocolate bar with his little sister.
It's boring here.
It's not really. There's lots of cool stuff. Look,
A full moon hangs over the Sanderson house, far away.
I think full moons are good luck.
Well, come on. I'll take you home.
Max notices the street sign under which they've been sitting. Chestnut Street.
Over to this street, and then we'll go home.
No, that's just rich people down there. They'll make us bob for apples and drink cider. Max!
Exterior of 397 Chestnut Street. Allison's house. Impressive. Party inside. Max rings the doorbell.
How come this one?
I don't know.
Allison answers. Space princess costume. Too sexy for my shirt.
Trick or treat! I ain't bobbing for apples.
Oh, hi, Allison.
Oh, brother.
The interior of Allison's house. A catered party, all adults. Allison's bored.
It's my parents' annual party.
Great.
It's completely boring.
Great. Great.
Want some cider?
No.
Sure. Sorry.
Allison gets some.
So, I guess we know why you've been such a jerk lately.
What are you talking about?
You want her to be your girlfriend, and she doesn't even know your name.
Yes, she does.
Allison returns.
Here you go. What was your name again?
Max.
Danny just rolls her eyes.
Just tell her and let's go, Max.
Shut up, Danny.
Tell me what?
Nothing.
My brother's got the hots for you.
Max chokes. That's bad. But how Allison looks at him, well,
I like your costume. Very authentic.
Thanks. My mom made it for me. I helped.
I'm really into witches.
Really? Me too. We just learned about those sisters in school.
Oh, the Sanderson sisters? I know all about them. My mom used to run the museum.
There's a museum about them?
Yeah, they shut it down. A lot of spooky things happened there.
Where was it?
At their house. I think they were wrong to close it. It's a piece of history.
Danny is suddenly best friends with Allison.
Neat. I'm really into witches too.
Would you like to see it?
See what? What?
The Sanderson Museum. I'll get my mom's keys. They'll never know I'm gone.
Allison moves off.
Just take her to the movies like a normal person. My friend said that those witches ate kids.
There's no such thing as witches, and even if there was, they've been dead for 300 years.
Exterior hillside wood at night. Max, Allison, and Danny trudge Emily Binks's hill. Full moon.
What's your costume supposed to be?
He's too cool for a costume. He was just taking me around.
That's really nice.
I always do it, you know.
My parents made him.
Max nudges Danny.
You hit me one more time, Max. I'll tell her you listen to Neil Diamond.
Max slaps a hand over her mouth, but it's too late.
I don't believe it. You listen to Neil Diamond? I love Neil Diamond!
Hey.
Danny gags. The exterior hillside night. The old Sanderson house looms at the top of the hill as Max, Allison, and Danny climb the hillside in the ghostly moonlight. Max leads the way. It's very spooky.
They found the bones of 100 children buried in this hillside.
Look, a thigh bone.
He tosses it at them.
It's a stick. I hate him.
Exterior of the Sanderson house. Sign, the Sanderson House, circa 1642, home of Winifred, Sarah, and Mary Sanderson, hanged as witches, Halloween night, 1692. 12 to 5 Monday through Saturday. Donation $3. The sign is rotting. The place is overgrown. A newer sign has been nailed over the old. Closed, no trespassing. Dark clouds cross the moon.
Witches' ashes are supposed to be buried under the house. The Sanderson sisters were just misunderstood eccentrics, persecuted by ignorant people in an ignorant time.
Yeah. Geez, Danny.
Something bolts by Max's feet, and he leaps 4 feet in the air.
Oh,
Oh yeah, big man.
A black cat sits twixt the gang and the house. Its eyes shine in the dark. It meows strangely.
It's a cat.
The cat meows again.
Wow.
Max chucks a stone at the kitty. Whack! It disappears.
Talking. Did you hear it? It said, "Get out."
it said meow.
I hope you didn't hurt it.
No way, they got 9 lives.
The interior of the Sanderson house. Darkness. Stumbling, Max flicks on a mini-mag.
I'm scared. Aren't you scared? I am. I'm scared. Are you?
My friends and me used to sneak in here after hours all the time when we were little and play Ouija board and stuff, but it was never like this. It's weird now.
The displays are cobweb. Rainwater catch buckets are sitting around. Velvet ropes form a guided tour past display signs, potions and strange devices, dried animals, and the cauldron. The gang screams.
Ah! Oh my God. I forgot about those.
Wax witch effigies wearing talisman necklaces. They're huddled over their cauldron. Max ventures forward, and Danny's clinging to his arm, and he wrenches free.
Spellbook of Winifred Sanderson, given to her by the devil himself. Bound in human skin, it contains the recipes for spells of destruction and life. Human skin, right.
Unless you believe in this stuff. It seems goofy.
Max feels his oats here. He ain't afraid of nothing.
Definitely. Check this out.
Black candle display and a box of old matches nearby.
Candle of the Black Flame, made from the tallow of a stillborn calf. Gross. And the fat of a hanged man. Oh, no way. The candle was used by
The mini-mag dies and he strikes a wooden match.
the sisters to illuminate the pages of the spellbook while they conjured. Legend has it that they will also raise the dead when lit by a virgin on a Halloween night. Guess I'm out then.
Oh, right.
That's what she meant.
Meant who? What?
Before they hanged her, Winifred Sanderson cast one last spell. One Halloween night, when the moon is round, a virgin will summon us from the ground.
In the background, through the window, the clouds drift away, revealing the full round moon. The room is suddenly illuminated with moonlight. This is very spooky. Allison and Danny are afraid.
Cool. Well, let's light this thing and meet the hags. Would you like to do the honors?
You shouldn't be fooling around with this.
Kidding.
What are you afraid of? It's all just a bunch of hocus pocus.
Suddenly, with a panther-like yowl, the black cat leaps out of the darkness and climbs on and lands on Max's back. For a moment, it hangs on, clawing at him viciously.
Get him off! Get him off of me! Ah!
As suddenly as it attacks, the cat drops off of Max and disappears into the shadow. Allison nervously laughs at Max's freaked out state. Max is embarrassed, picks up a piece of firewood and brandishes it like a weapon.
Stupid cat! Stupid
Sneezes. From the shadows, a very human-like cat yowling can be heard.
Get out.
He says that's what you get for hitting him with a rock. Oh my God, I can hear him now too.
What?
He talks.
I told you.
More yowling from the shadows.
He says, if we don't get out of here right now, we'll never get out.
So why can't I hear him?
More yowling.
Only those who believe in magic can hear him speak.
You guys are overreacting.
Let's get out of here.
Good idea.
They start for the window.
Wait a second, where's your candy?
Who cares?
Forget it, Max, let's go.
What? No way, my dad'll kill me if I bring her home with no candy. I'll never get my learner's permit.
Was the only reason you took me?
Allison helps him look, and the cat meows at them menacingly.
Shut up, Morris.
It sneezes. The moon slips behind the clouds again, darkening the room. Max flicks his lighter.
I can't see a thing. Let's just split.
Max looks at the black flame candle. Without thinking, he lights it. Danny sees him.
Max, no!
The cat yowls in horror, but it's too late. Close in on the candle as Max's lighter ignites the flame, but instead of giving off light, the flame literally sucks in the light around it like a black hole. Max's reaction is he realizes he's just made the blunder of his life.
Uh-oh.
But it's too late. With a sudden explosion, with all the lights in the room is sucked into the candle, while at the same time a strange howling wind emanates out of the flame and blows around the room. Hellish laughter and screaming are heard as the wind gusts, blowing around dust and objects.
Oh no.
Exterior underneath the Sanderson house, light erupts from the ground, carrying the buried ashes of the witches and streams up through the floorboard. Back into the inside of the house, the light and ashes stream up into the wax dummies, lighting them from the inside out and melting the wax.
No, no, no.
The effigies moan like the undead. Wax drops off them in luminous, thick rubies. The plaster explodes from the mannequins. Waxy plaster dust fills the room. Moonlight filtered through the trillion particle clears slowly. The kids duck behind the spellbook display. They stare and shudder what has impossibly manifested before them. The Sanderson sisters. Skinny, fat, and ugly, unchanged, and pissed. They are slow to realize their good fortune as they pinch themselves to verify their freshness.
We have returned.
They howl and cackle with delight. Close in shot on Max and Allison in hiding.
What happened?
A virgin lit the candles.
Max is embarrassed. Back on the witches.
But who brought us back?
The witches scan the room and see the three witch effigies. Winifred approaches them.
Sisters!
She puts her hand on one and it falls over. Winifred examines them, puzzled, and suddenly Sarah's nose starts twitching.
Do you not smell them, sisters?
What?
Ah, children.
Winifred whacks Mary with the back of her hand, sending her slamming into the rack of potions. Winifred turns on the charm.
Come out, my dears. We will not harm you.
We love children.
Winifred suddenly flips over the table, revealing Danny, who is petrified. Dressed as a witch, she thinks fast and pretends to be one.
Greetings, sisters.
Greetings, little one.
It was I who brought you back.
I see.
The three witches gather closely around her, pawing and poking at her with their sharp fingers.
Such a pretty little girl.
Oh my god. Sorry, where are we?
Top of 36.
36.
Sarah's line, pretty fingers.
Pretty fingers, pretty eyeballs.
And she's so well fed.
Tell me, my sweet, what is the date?
October 31st.
All Halloween. The curse worked just as planned.
1992.
Sisters, we have been dead 300 years.
How time flies.
When you're dead.
I'll be going.
Stay for supper.
Supper.
I'm not hungry.
But we are.
And the witches howl with evil laughter and seize Danny with their talon-like hands. They're about to tear her to pieces when a voice shouts,
Hey.
The witches turn and see Max holding one of the buckets of rainwater. He hurls the water, scoring a direct hit on Winifred and soaking her thoroughly. Everything stops as everyone looks at Winifred to see what happened. close in on Winifred as she gets so mad that the water literally sizzles off her face.
I mean, it worked in Wizard of Oz.
Back to Winifred as her rage increases. Her electricity charges up, her hair stands straight on end, and suddenly she throws out her hand and zaps Max with a stream of crackling electrical energy. Mary and Sarah cackle with delight as Max is literally lifted off the ground, writhing in the electrical field.
Turn him to a cinder!
Roast him, Winnie!
Now Danny gets mad.
You leave my brother alone!
She picks up a small pot and beans Winifred with it. The electrical charge is broken and Max slumps to the ground, and Winifred goes down to the floor, momentarily stunned. But in an instant, she has regained her senses. She snatches up Danny with both hands and lifts her off the ground. When Allison attacks her, but Winifred easily knocks her aside with a blow of her hand. Winifred is about to wring Danny's neck when suddenly there is a ferocious yowl, and the black cat leaps out from its hiding place back on high on a shelf and lands on Winifred's head, scratching and clawing at her savagely. Winifred releases Danny and all hell breaks loose. Mary tries to grab Allison, who punches her in the nose. Winifred tears the cat off her head and throws it against the wall. Max comes to his senses, sees what's happening, and then spots the sprinkler system on the ceiling. Mary cackles like an idiot.
Here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Danny finds a candy bag. Winifred is about to grab her again when Max suddenly leaps up on the table.
Hey!
He clicks the lighter, which flames, and that catches the witch's attention.
You have messed with the great and powerful Max and must now suffer the consequences. I summon the burning rain of death.
Max, who has positioned himself perfectly, lifts his hand and holds the flame under an old sprinkler head on the ceiling. For a beat, nothing happens, and then the old fire alarm bell starts sounding, and all the sprinkler heads on the ceiling start gushing water. The witches scream in horror. As they imagine they're about to die an agonizing death. And the screams, while the kids scramble to escape, the black cat, who is of course Thackeray Binks, leaps up onto Max's shoulder, putting his face right up to Max's. 300 years have turned Binks into a tough, very worldly cat.
Get the spell book.
Max instinctively reaches to pry the cat off, and Binks bites his hand.
Oh, God, you talk.
I do lots of other things too. You listen to me, boy. Get that book or there will be hell to pay.
Max is paralyzed. Whap, whap. Couple quick paw shots across Max's cheeks.
Hurry!
Max grabs the spell book and he runs out past the writhing witches. Binks scrambles after them.
Hey, heal! Heal!
Whoa.
Follow
Exterior
me!
woods night.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Max stops. Allison and Danny stop and they look back at him.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to know what's going on.
Max turns around and leaps back up at Max's face again.
Stop doing that.
Binks stuffs a paw in Max's mouth.
Shut up. I'm a cat. I'm talking to you. You understand what I'm saying? Some 300-year-old witches want to kill you. Any more questions? Good. More later. Right now, who's in charge?
Ooh, or...
Fine, boy. This way.
Binks dashes away and Danny follows. Allison next, she leaves Max with a sudden disapproving look. Back on the house, the witches are still screaming in imagined agony and they're getting soaked. Close in on Winifred as she tastes the water streaming into her mouth and realizes...
Water! It is but water!
Sarah and Mary stop screaming and lap up the droplets.
Most refreshing.
The boy has tricked us. My book. They have stolen it. After them, sisters!
Exterior of the Sanderson house. Led down the hill by Mary's life of its own nose like Toucan Sam to the Fruit Loops. They stop suddenly at a black river.
The river Styx! Oh, Winnie, have we truly caught?
What is that?
They view a beaten-up sedan nearby.
'Tis a most strange vessel. Ah, a vessel for fording this river. Poor sister, mayhaps 'tis not too deep.
Winifred shoves Sarah onto the asphalt. Sarah stumbles onto the road and stands there, drowning in oxygen.
'Tis firm as stone.
Just like a bone, 'tis firm as stone. A little road, let's get home.
Honk. Huge headlights cut out of the darkness. They barrel straight for Sarah and Mary. The witches scream.
Ah!
They leap for the bushes and hide there, watching as the fire truck speeds by, sirens blaring. It stops at the Sanderson house.
Witch hunters.
Exterior of the field outside the graveyard. Binks leads the way. Danny, Allison, and Max hurry after him. They approach the gates of the Salem County Cemetery.
This is a graveyard.
Brilliant. Someone told you?
Why are you taking us in here?
Just do what he says, Max.
Really, you got us into this anyway.
Me? You're the one that wanted to go up there.
I didn't like the candle.
Kids, knock that stuff off, or I'll turn this car around right now.
Binks squeezes through the iron gates, and the gang follows.
Step lively, 'tis hallowed ground. The vile witches cannot set foot upon it.
Exterior of the Sanderson house. The firemen kill the sprinklers and head for the truck.
Kids again.
Man, I hate Halloween.
The fire truck rumbles away as the witches emerge from the bushes.
Crimson vessel of witch hunter sisters, did ye see the tools of torture? A witch is blinded first and then crushed beneath the rollers, hanged by the nooses and tortured with the axe of confession.
'Tis a different world. Hurry, we must get back the book.
Mary snatches a burly wood beetle off the house. She eats it.
What book, sister?
Spell book.
Why, sister, pray tell?
I need it to perform a spell.
What spell, sister?
Sisters! Consider thy arms.
They do. Winifred digs a finger into hers. She gets wax. Sarah gets wax. Mary hurts herself.
Oh, are we not flesh, sister?
'Tis only thy girth which slows thy fate.
Tell me, Winnie.
It'll help for that, sister. I fear the hourglass is pouring. See, too, how we move about now. We do not walk as flesh, but as spirit, neither alive nor dead. We must get the spell book and conjure for our lives this night. Come, the hours are numbered.
Winifred spins grandly, her witch togs twirling, and heads for the house. The dunces follow.
And we are dead by dawn.
The interior of the Salem County Cemetery. The kids follow Binks through the graveyard, past tombstones. A skeleton wielding a scythe appears from nowhere, and they scream. Now, just a sculpted gravemaker. Binks leaps atop it.
William Butcher. Murderer, thief, drunkard, nice guy.
A versatile guy he was, Billy the Butcher.
All right, like you knew him.
Like, totally. I knew him. That's right, Junior, I did. I knew Napoleon B., Mark Twain, Tom Edison, Davy Crockett, Chuck Lindbergh, Babe Ruth, and Walt Disney, too.
Really?
Really? I knew Billy before and after he was strung up. The witches stole his body from the gallows and brought him back to life to raise little hell, if you know what I mean. To keep their secrets, they cut out his tongue and sewed his mouth shut with a dull needle.
And the kids react with their hands to their lips in stark silence.
Now you know what we're dealing with. It ain't Elizabeth Montgomery. There now. Since I've got your attention, boys and girls, let me just say that we are in one grave situation. Sorry, couldn't help myself.
Are you the little boy who turned into a cat?
Yes, I am. Thackeray Binks, at your service.
Interior of the Sanderson house. The place is wrecked. Winifred whistles. A classic twig broom flies to her. Sarah whistles. A modern type nylon bristle angle broom skitters over to her. Note that when she flies, then her broom is always out of alignment and she flies at an angle. Mary whistles, and a 30-year-old chrome-railed Electroclux vacuum chugs out of the closet to her and unceremoniously slaps her in the forehead with its chrome handle. With an impressive flurry of cape, Winifred mounts her broom.
To the sky!
Exterior, sky above Salem. The witches are airborne. The witches fly across the full moon. They consider Salem village far below. The city lights seem like pyres.
Salem village is a changed world. Many witches burning regular now.
Back at the graveyard a few moments later, Danny and Allison listen intently as Bink tells his tale. Max is still feeling peeved.
Do you like being a cat a lot?
At first, I enjoyed myself. Being a cat was a highly sensuous experience. I slept all day, prowled around at night. My family took me in. I slept by the fire, and everybody petted me. But then, the years started to pass. I watched my parents grow old and die, and my brothers and sisters, and their children, and their children. But I was always left behind.
The kids are stunned and saddened.
I mean, why didn't you try to kill yourself?
Don't you think I tried? But I always survived. I fell into deep despair. I couldn't die, but I had no reason to live. Then one day I realized immortality was a curse, but it gave me a purpose. The Sanderson sisters had vowed to return from the grave, but I'd always be here to stop them. They'd never harm another child as long as I was here. So, for 3 centuries, I guarded that house, especially on Halloween night, when I knew some airhead virgin might light that candle.
What are we going to do?
Make sure the hags don't get that spellbook.
Oh, this?
Yes, that. The Devil's Spellbook. It contains all of which Winifred's most powerful and heinous spells. Don't let it out of your sight. And remember this, all of you. It is evil, and only evil can come of it. Is that clear?
They all nod.
Good.
They did magic at their house. How come they need it?
Good point. As near as I can figure, they have minor magic at their beck and call. You know, unseen force, fireballs from the palms, bewitchments, etc., etc.
If they get it back, what would they do with it?
I only saw them conjure with it once. They'd cooked a potion that, as near as I could ever figure out, they planned to give to the children of Salem Village.
For what?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, we're just talking about 3 old ladies versus the 20th century, right? I mean, how bad could it be?
Suddenly, an electric cord drops and dangles from the sky in front of Max. Binks looks skyward.
Bad.
Be mine!
And the spellbook leaps.
Get it!
Max intercepts. Allison and Danny take cover and hide their eyes. Binks leaps to the tombstone.
This is hallowed ground. Whisk off, wretched hags!
That could be Binks. My, still alive.
Till the end of eternity, if it means vexing the likes of you, vile wench.
Enjoying your 9 million lives.
And that strikes a chord. He's a taut ball of fur.
You bind him with wires, skin him alive.
Children, give us the book and we'll be gone.
No way, Fatso.
Fatter still when I'm through with you.
Mary dive bombs Danny and she flattens to the ground. The electroclux zooms inches above.
Give me the book or die.
Land here and take it, evil sow.
Winifred and her sisters air huddle.
I don't like this.
But you said they can't touch us here, right? Right?
They cannot.
What do you mean by they?
Winifred unpockets a black flame candle and holds it ready.
Souls at peace remain at rest. Tortured spirits join our quest. Smell with nose, see with eye. Twist your finger towards the sky. Push aside your earthen sheets. Stand upon your good dead feet. Life is sweet, not shy sleeping. Save her eyes! Arise!
Winifred snaps her craggy fingers and lights the candle. Binks has thrown off William Butcher's tombstone, and the grave maker rolls. Rotted coffin planks erupt from the grave, and then Billy the Butcher climbs out. A zombie. His mouth is sewn shut. He blinks the dirt from his eyes, which is somehow miraculously they're still intact. Nothing else about him is, though. Danny, Allison, and Max are struck dumb and frozen stiff. Binks leaps onto Max's chest once more.
Hey, ever seen Night of the Living Dead? Well, it's all true. Zombies eat people. We're gone like the wind. Follow me.
Children!
Billy moves on Allison and Danny, who, running after Binks, are making tracks out of the graveyard.
But you said we can't leave the cemetery.
Fine. You stay here then.
Billy growls. Max splits. Billy runs into a low branch, knocking his head off, and fumbles around for his noggin. He finds it, sets it back on, and the chase is back on. The kids sprint for the cemetery wall. Billy closes. Suddenly, the witches appear, hovering right in front of them.
Peekaboo, we see you. Give me the book.
Binks barrel rolls headlong toward the witches.
This way.
With total trust, Danny and Allison run after Binks. Max slows a bit, skeptical. Mary hovers lowest and hands out and reaches to catch Binks.
Here, kitty.
Binks leaps right into Mary's waiting hands. No, he soars over her and disappears into a bramble patch along the wall. Danny and Allison follow him, sliding under Mary, who looked after Binks into the bushes, and they vanish as well. Max sees the escape and he runs faster, but suddenly Sarah is hovering in front of him. He looks back. Billy's right on top of him. As Billy's bony phalanges reach for him, Max screams, dashes forward, and...
Come to mama, you fresh young thing! Nailed it.
He rips a momentous slide under Sarah and vanishes into the bush patch. Billy plows full body into Sarah, knocking her into a dizzying series of crazy aerial loops. Billy recovers and tears away the bushes. He rips at them so hard his arms come flying off on the back rip. He runs to get his arm, revealing that he's uncovered a large hole in the ground.
Damnable child. Damn Thackeray Binks. Damn him to the dogs for eternity.
It was your idea to turn him into a cat, Winnie.
Sister, puncture thyself and let the air out of thy brain.
Oh.
Down the hole, after them, running beast. Bring them to me dead or...
Billy crawls down the hole. Mary air tumbles back to her sister. She's dizzy and disheveled. Just as she takes a deep breath, her nose tears off her in some direction.
Sisters, I have a bearing. This way.
The interior of a sewer tunnel, complete darkness, a match striking and then illumination. Max grabs a length of rotting cloth and wraps it around an equally rotting length of wood.
Where are we? I'm really scared, Max. I want to go home.
It'll be all right. Just let me get this damn torch lit.
He lights the makeshift torch, revealing that they're underneath the graveyard. Corners of long-buried coffins stick through the dirt. Bits of corpses and skeletons hang down. Danny hides her eyes and Max screams.
It's creepy down here.
Excellent underground. Moles and shoes aplenty.
Moles? Ick.
It's not like I can roll up to a drive-through, order a burger, you know? I got no pockets. Can't carry money.
Footsteps in the muck down the tunnel. Binks perks an ear.
Billy, his touch will rot you where you stand. Let's go.
Exterior, the sky above Salem. The witches are airborne. The witches fly in formation. Mary leads the way. Her nose pulls her herky-jerky. It yanks her downward towards Salem. It's zeroed in. She rockets towards the earth.
A million lanterns, not pyres. The world has grown.
I've got them, Winnie. I've got them.
Exterior on a neighborhood street. Mary, the spiraling meteor, crash lands like a model rocket in a front lawn. Winifred and Mary land nearby. They stow their brooms and consider the street in horror.
Oh, my nose never lies. I smell children.
There are costume trick-or-treaters
Hobgoblins!
everywhere.
Hobgoblins! Hundreds of them!
There are children in there. I swear it. Everywhere.
Ghoulies and ghosties and Jawas run by, and Mary shudders.
I want to go back to hell.
Quiet! I must think. This is very strange.
Group of ghouls ring a doorbell, and an adult answers. He drops something in the ghouls' upheld bags. Exterior of Mr. Newman's house. The witches hold their skirts as bags. Winifred figures out the doorbell, rings it, and the door opens. The devil says, "Welcome to hell." The witches are aghast. Sarah and Mary cringe abjectly. Winifred is skeptical.
Master!
We beg pardon, sir. We did not know you lived here, Master.
Hey, you're the hottest hags I've seen all night.
Oh, Master! Oh, you were too kind.
Oh, I like the way you look.
They giggle, and Winifred silences them with a sharp eye.
Be sick. 3 children and a cat.
Yeah, well, this will hold you till you find them. Some for you, one for you, some for you. I love your schnoz.
He tweaks it.
A gift. Will Master come sport with us?
Later, when the missus is asleep.
Master has taken a wife?
Yeah, I still fool around.
And the devil wags his tongue at them and closes the door.
Thank Bob. Master is his old self.
Witches!
Winifred and Sarah consider Mary's discovery.
Oh, look! 'Tis the candy-covered finger of a man named Clark.
Mary inhales the pedophores. Expecting flesh, she gags.
'Tis but caramel.
Why would Master give us candy?
Winifred clues in. A little zombie approaches her, and she whips the kid's mask off.
Because he is not our master, and these are hobgoblins.
Hey, butthead, lay off my latex.
A child! I knew it!
Sarah tries to grab the morsel. The kid blindsides her with his candy sack and splits. The zombie freaks. Winifred hauls her sisters by the ears as she floats to the sidewalk.
All Hallows Eve has become a night of frolic, where everyone wears costumes and runs amok, collecting candies and treats. See how many children now in Salem Village. Sisters, we must brew up some spells at once.
What about your spell book?
We lost the spell book, and I mean, we don't know where it is.
Yes. We need the book. But this is too much to pass by. We can kill 2 crows with a single stone.
Oh, I like crow.
Don't you see?
No.
Winifred draws them painfully across the street to the brooms, and they mount up.
You will, sisters, you will. The book while we gather children. If it's a candy they desire, then candy we will give them.
Winifred gets an itch. More wax.
Time grows short. I fear the worst. Lead on, sisters. Quickly. To the sweets!
The witches take to the sky. Back to the interior of the sewer tunnel. Binks and the kids crawl through an offshoot pipe. The interior of Binks's digs. Emerging here in Binks's 300-year-old subterranean home. Fascinating. Everything's on cat scale. The joint's a self-contained, and it harbors the treasures of 3 centuries. Thousands of books. Home entertainment. The kids are in awe. Binks goes to the kitty kitchen and retrieves a can of food.
You have a PlayStation. That's awesome, man. You live here?
Be it ever so humble.
But how'd you get all this stuff down here?
A couple of Brit friends of mine helped. Eddie and Winston, bulldogs. They work like animals. Oh, no, keep going. Would you mind? I can do it, but it'll take an hour. That's what I miss most, you know?
What?
Thumbs.
Danny opens the can and Binks munches.
Let me just refuel and we're out of here.
The kids watch Binks eat with a spoon. He looks up slowly.
What?
Sorry.
Wasn't.
What are we going to do?
I got it. They want the book, right? So
Max drops the book on the floor, lights a match. Binks disinterestedly hops up on his little tykes, Barca lounger.
Oh, here
we
we
just
go.
torch it.
All watch as Max lays the flame to the book. The book blows the flame out with